Welcome back everybody to Dan Has Fun. We're going to be playing more Advance Wars 2 Black Hole Rising, and I've mentioned it a couple of times in previous videos. We're going to be doing potentially a difficult mission today. It'll be the lab mission for Yellow Comet. The enemy lab uncovered. Who is the unexpected ally? And we don't really need to go through this spiel. They're talking about the Neo tanks. However, we do have to talk about the CO decision. So we do get to pick our commanding officer in this map. Not the first one to do that, obviously. But this one's pretty tough. We're not going to be using Sonya. It isn't a Fog of War map. There's no point in doing so. However, Kanbei versus Sensei is actually a pretty tough one. I'm going to choose Sensei and then show you the map, and we'll talk about why it's actually quite a difficult decision. So we have Sea of Hope, Mission 15 in our case. And here is the unexpected help. We do have Sammy on the map with us. We're going to just interrupt them talking. It's all fine and dandy. So this map is actually potentially quite problematic. So again, it's a lab mission. We have to capture the lab. Or, you know, wipe everything out. But we're going to be capturing the map, probably. We'll see how it goes. You do have some units from Sammy. Why they would pick Sammy for this when she has a combat penalty, I don't understand. Like, why? If they brought Andy, it would have been more helpful, but alas, what are you going to do? The reason why this is tricky between Sensei and Kanbei, though, is primarily because bombers are going to be very, very helpful, and a Kanbei bomber will one-shot these anti-airs in every scenario. Whereas, if you go the Sensei route, you do what Sensei players do. You spam lots and lots of battlecopters and nothing else. The problem is the battlecopters really struggle against the anti-air. They can't hit them. Obviously, they're not hitting bombers, so you're going to have to build a fighter at some point. And the one saving grace we go in the Sensei route in Advance Wars 2 is that battlecopters do really well against cruisers. Cruisers do really well against them, but, you know, battlecopters fly, so you must always get the first strike. And obviously, if you're just using nothing but air units, we don't really care about these battleships until we're starting to capture the lab. The other weird thing about this map is that you would expect, based on how the AI reacts to things in this game, that it's going to do one of two things. It's either going to stay exactly where it is and do nothing, or it's going to all pile forwards and try and take your base over. And they don't do either of those things, mostly, in this map. A lot of these units are going to run away to try and protect the lab, which makes sense. But the AI in this game, as we've seen, doesn't usually make a lot of sense. This is a weird mission where they do the right thing. Sometimes a few of these units will come down to annoy you, but typically it's not a lot of anything. This is also a map where we have to be really careful with what we spend our money on. More so than normal. So what we're probably going to do, because a battlecopter's 9,000, we are going to use Sensei over Kanbei. And honestly, I've not played this mission in years. We might even fail it the first time around. You never know. That'd be fun. And if we do, I'll put it on the recording. But what we really want to do off the bat is we're going to end up hitting this tank, I'm sure, with Sammy's units. So we're just going to build a couple of cheap infantry. It would help if I tried to build it in a base. Alas. And there we go. The other thing you have to be careful of, as you may have noticed, there's a port. You will not need to use this to build any ships. Ships are terrible on this mission. But more importantly, this airport is exposed to the sea. So theoretically, a cruiser could wander around and snipe your, unit before it even gets to attack. So you need to keep an eye out for that too. I'm not worried about that happening, but it's something that can happen. So we're going to get a transport copter to throw a unit up there and get that ball rolling. And for Sammy, we're going to go to her turn next. I have turned visuals back on. We'll probably turn them off partway through this mission because it's going to be a long one. And I don't want this map to go on, forever. So, what do we do with Sammy? She only has 4 units, 3 battleships and a cruiser. You're going to need that cruiser to try and protect your battleships against the bomber that's invariably going to come your way. But this one on turn 1 can't do anything. So the other two we have to make full use of. And typically what I do is use one to shoot at these rockets, because then if they attack back next turn, they're only going to do pitiful, damage in turn. And we want to attack this tank, so the tank doesn't go down and slow down Sensei capturing properties, because he's going to need money to spam out as many units as he can. We can use, this battleship just purely for movement. You don't want to move there because you'll get hit by an artillery, but moving here it's okay. It's still not a great idea, purely because then medium tanks don't do much damage to any type of ship unit. But we don't want them to, even get the pot shot. No need to waste our potential. But we do have to be careful. We don't want to be on the coastline here, because the medium tank will hit us. So realistically, the only place we can move is there. And the hope is that the rocket won't move. It will probably move, just to let you know. But that's the hope. And we don't have to worry about this bomber for a couple of turns. So we're just going to leave our cruiser in place. In this game, you can't get, naval units can't go through bridges, so they are boxed in here. It's not like I can go, oh, let's sail through here and attack this sub. It's not going to happen. This sub, though, will be a complete non-factor. Like I said, we're not building naval units on this map. Yes, Sensei gets a +1 movement to his transport, but he gets that on his T-copter as well, so why would you bother? Anyway, let's let Ada have his turn. He's been patiently waiting for me to do a lot of talking. They're going to do that fire, that pot shot back. They'll probably do a hit point. Yeah. Not that bothered about that. And then, yes, you'll see most units are going to bravely run away. He's got a lot of units to move. His first few turns take a while. Although, interestingly, I don't know why this happens. He ends up moving his battleships south, but then they can't get past the bridge either, so it really doesn't make any sense. Not Sammy's turn yet. I don't know why it can't just let you do them at the same time when you're playing as both, but that's not how that works. But again, be careful, because we don't want that to get sniped. So all I'm going to do, actually, is put that right there. This tank being there is just, we're just going to ignore it. It's the honest answer to that. And we're going to start building battle copters immediately. We are going to probably build... Do I want to build one more? So our income in this right now is 10,000. We'd have 13 next turn, which means I still can't afford to build an APC anyway. So I guess we'll just get one more infantry, and then we'll stop building just foot soldiers at that point. Okay, so you might as well use that to take out the rocket, the damaged battleship. Wonderful. First couple of turns are pretty predictable, but after that it can end up all hell going loose. We are going to shoot on that medium tank just so that we can try and whittle down the force when we get there that we're going to anticipate. He doesn't have cities over here captured. He will slowly start capturing them, but he really doesn't have a lot of locations to heal his troops off the bat. So we want to take advantage of that too. But the other thing we want to be careful of is his CO meter, because an extra 2 movement on a bomber can cause major problems. Do I want to move this guy? Yeah, I don't want to move that too far, because I don't want the opposing battleship to be able to hit me either, right? So rather than attacking the mech, I'm just going to put that here, move that there, and then see what he does with his bomber, and end turn. He also doesn't have a lot of money at the start of the map, so even if he ends up trying to heal things, he'll have a hard time. But the AI has done the thing that it usually does. That's mildly annoying, but meh. It has done the thing that's a little bit frustrating. He won't just plow straight in with his bomber and then just get, to sacrifice it effectively. He'll put it in such a way that you can't actually reach it with your cruiser because of one annoying reef, which would usually be really awesome. Oh, he actually did do the dumb. He did the stupid thing. I was just about to praise him. It's still a dangerous thing to do, though, because if I go and take the bait and attack that, I am guaranteed to lose my cruiser. It's probably still worth doing that. Anyway, we'll worry about that in a moment. That's going to delay me by 1 turn, which is a little bit annoying, but eh. That cruiser is in the perfect place for you to not be able to hit him. So I'm just going to... I don't even care about that tank being there, to tell you the truth. Like, it doesn't matter. And we're just going to put this over here. More so for distraction purposes, but eventually we'll move the infantry up the map. That's the quickest way of doing it. And in terms of anything beyond that, we're just going to just go with another battlecopter. We will be getting more transport copters, maybe a couple more to send some extra infantry in just in case, maybe even a mech. But we want to start piling battlecopter pressure over here as soon as we can. And we'll probably be throwing in a couple of bombers too at the end as well. Okay. Yeah, I thought the AI had done the smart thing. Sometimes it sits an extra tile back, and this reef, because of its movement penalty for naval units, will stop it from being attacked. But apparently not in this level. They just said, no, it's fine. Here's the problem, though. Sammy's cruisers suck. I say, if it had been anybody else, this map would have been a lot better. Hell, there's even an argument that Max would have been more useful, even with the -1 range penalty. Because at least his cruiser would probably not one-shot this bomber, but it would do enough to make it irrelevant. I'm still going to do this. It's still the right thing to do. You lose the entire mission, though, if Sammy loses all of her units. She's not liable to lose all of her units, especially now that that's happened, but it does mean eventually you do have to get a fighter up here, which will actually likely be the next thing in our building queue for Sensei. Just to try and clear that up, because we do not want to lose in that way, because that's just embarrassing, frankly. It's just a really dumb way to lose. Anyway, that tank is now going to be negligible. Is anybody else going to want to move? He moved his battleships back up, which is also kind of funny. Not surprising, but funny. It is also tempting to put this battleship over here so the tank feels like it wants to attack it. So we're going to. Because then we'll just pot shot it off with another one. And then, yes, I could attack that mech, but do I really want to? Does he have his CO power yet? He does. Do I want to move this unit? And I think the answer is yes. This is the other unit that's going to be an issue too. That's why we're going to be running our battlecopters up there. Actually, did I make a dumb? No, I didn't. I thought about it ahead of time. If he gets +2 movement, he still won't be able to reach this battlecopter. I was pretty sure I had the maths right there, but you know what happens when you start to second guess yourself. We are good there. Thank goodness. It does mean that that battlecopter is going to get a free slice on as well, but I'm hoping they'll both attack this damaged battlecopter. That's the hope. Battlecopter battleship. Too many words with the word battle at the front. But yeah, they're going to get hurt this turn. That's just inevitable. But it's fine. Like I said, as long as Sammy doesn't lose every unit, it's okay. And after like the first 4 or 5 turns of this map, she is not relevant at all. Again, battleships can't move through bridges. At least not in this game. Yeah, so that's going to die. We knew as much. So that's fine. The other rocket can't hit anything. Oh, the bomber actually came down here. That's interesting. Interesting and stupid, but I'm fine with that. And then, yeah, this tank's not going to be able to resist taking a really tiny pot shot at that battleship. For all the damage that was worth doing. His tank will run away. That's fine with me. Yeah, here he comes. Battlecopters are mildly annoying towards battleships, but they don't do huge damage. And that APC is irrelevant. I don't even know why it brings it down. I actually was playing Dark Conflict, or Days of Ruin if you're an American or Canadian, just a couple of nights ago because I was struggling to sleep, and I forgot. In that game, they just refuse outright to build APCs. Don't know why, but they just will not build them. Also, that cruiser ran away, which is funny. Weird. AI does weird things. Anyway, we're going to ignore all of that and just rush these guys forwards. There we go. Like that. Now, we do have to get a fighter. They cost 20,000. So it's not pocket change. Because we have to deal with this guy eventually. But it just... The problem with this, in hard mode, it makes a lot of sense to build a fighter, because he has multiple air units. This he only has 2. So it feels incredibly wasteful to build a 20,000 gold unit to deal with a battlecopter and a bomber. But if you don't deal with this guy, eventually he is just going to... Oh, he actually ran out of fuel before then. That's the thought, isn't it? You know what? I'm just going to ignore this guy. Just going to pretend he's not there. So we're just going to do more sensei things of just building battlecopters. And that's it. Wouldn't be fun if we didn't try and do this in a fun way, right? Is there any point, by the way... Yeah, there's no point really using her Victory March. We're actually better off using her CO power now, because when you use a CO power, you get 10% more defense in this game anyway. Just, you know, at least get that advantage for a turn. That rocket... The rockets move one tile away. It's what they do. They basically just shimmy-shammy the entire map and do nothing of really any other purpose. I'm just going to delay his capture by a turn. Just because I can. And then beyond that, it's just... kill this, I guess. Like I said, Sammy, in this version of this map, really has... virtually no purpose existing. She really doesn't do anything. I'm only firing at this because he's got his superpower, so this doesn't increase his gauge. So I might as well just take a shot at it. The AI is dumb, and it may well, at that 4 hit points, just not bother to heal it when he has space. We'll see. We'll see. I also have no idea why they gave him a lander for this map, because the AI never uses landers properly. Alright, so we'll be able to capture that airport next turn, even despite the bomber being uncooperative. He is going to come down and get distracted. That's fine. We do effectively burn our first battlecopter if we're not going to get a fighter to make sure that it doesn't kill our battleships. And we're just going to use that 3 hit point battlecopter as effectively healing for other damaged battlecopters when the time comes. So that's fine. There we go. And now the battlecopters, you know, battlecopters are good pretty much. It's also going to be helpful because when you join units together, you join their ammo and fuel, so that's going to be very important. Because we're probably not going to be running APCs up here. But now, he's not going to have enough ammo to deal with this, and although he does have an APC, it's not going to be relevant. Honestly, if we wanted to, we could just box the thing in. There we go. So what do we have as our income now per turn? 14,000. So we can get, what, 3 battlecopters every 2 turns if we wanted to. So that's going to be more than enough. I'm just going to do this to take this tank out so it's out of the way. I just don't want it blocking the bridge. Perfect. And then all we're going to do at this point is take this transport copter forwards. We might temporarily have it capture a couple of cities just for some more income. Possibly try and grab this would be helpful. But we'll have that slowly wade in that direction. I just want to make sure I don't run. Where did the cruiser go? Oh, the cruiser's running away. Okay, I'm fine with that. Cruiser is running. And I have nothing else to do with you, so I'm just going to take a pot shot at you. If I take a couple more pot shots at it, I might put it in recovery mode and have it flee. I don't want it to resupply the bomber, ideally. It doesn't matter too much if it does, but, yeah, preferably not. And we're going to get a couple of battlecopters. You may be seeing the running theme here. We can also use this battlecopter, actually, to just kind of bait the AI into making weird movement. So we're going to do that too. Alright, Sammy's turn. That actually won't stop that capture, but nothing else here matters, so we're just going to kill that mech. Don't want him to have income to potentially try and heal his units if we end up in desperation phase at the end. And all we're going to do is just edge forwards and force him to move his units. Ideally, I want to be able to hit his missiles, but this is only planes. And yeah, tired units get a penalty on planes, but it's only 2 movement, not 3, so they can still move multiple times. Are you going to finally take out that infantry? Yeah, there you go, buddy, you did it. Some hard work you put in. I don't know what the cruiser logic is. Like, I have no idea. They're the battleships. Good job of not putting like $1 in a jar every time I say battlecopters instead of battleships or vice versa. But we might as well just use this and start chipping away at this missile. Like, I can't get hit by anything else in this situation, so we might as well. And that will put it in range of any other battlecopter at full health being able to wipe it out in 1 hit. Let's make sure we don't kill ourselves though before we get there. So we're going to do that. And that. We're just going to ignore that bomber. There's really no point doing anything with it. And do that. You're going to see a lot of units from the bottom of the screen moving forwards on this map. It's just what happens. And now we have space here, we can do that. We're 100 gold short of building another transport copter. So I'm just going to leave these 2 infantry down here, continuing to take pot shots at this APC. And we'll get another transport copter in a turn or 2 and start moving infantry over there. And then once we do that, we're going to start having to build a bomber. So I'd like to try and get some other properties so we're not just wasting turns building nothing, ideally. Or at least not multiple turns building nothing. So yeah, so these guys are continuing to run further and further away, but there's a limit as to how far we can chase them because of his own battleships. So we do have to be careful. So we can go there. We can go there, and we can go there. And they're all safe there. That bomber's going to have to take some more of a more indirect route as well, because he's going to have to, drive a plane. Steer that plane, pilot that plane, that's the word I'm looking for. Yep, there we go. He's just going to get distracted taking attacks on my infantry, which is fine. And then he'll run out of fuel, hopefully, if the APC's dumb. Even when they have APCs, the AI doesn't know how to use APCs properly. It's really weird. Maybe that's why they stopped having them build them. Because even though, this bomber has 42 fuel and there's an APC literally right there, it didn't refuel it. It's weird. Very, very weird. We're probably going to turn the visuals off for now, because in a couple of turns it's going to be really wild how much, we're going to be doing. Why did it... Yeah, I don't get why the AI does this weird thing with cruisers. It keeps moving some of them forward, some of them backwards, and all it does is waste their fuel, and they don't accomplish anything. It's very peculiar. If I move here, hang on. So he would have to be able to get his superpower to hit me, right? Because, yeah, cruisers have 6, so it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you got to 8, you'd be able to hit me if I put a unit there. I'm just not going to put a unit there just in case. And instead, we're going to start chipping away. Is that coast? Shoal, yeah, so as we can see here, like that. Transport units can go on shoal, but ships cannot. Just, I guess, they get stuck. Beached, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, we are now going to be in the phase where this missile's gone. So we really don't have to worry about the air side of things. Unless we get pot shot by a cruiser when we're not paying attention. That's really about it that can go wrong at this point, at least for this phase. There's still other things that can definitely go wrong. I can assure you of that. There we go. And we still don't want to put our infantry down, obviously, because they'll get shot to Kingdom Come. So instead what we're going to do is distract the battlecopters. And how are we going to do that? We're going to bring our transport over here and plop this guy down there. Then depending on what the AI wants to do, it'll either send battleships over there to attack the infantry, or it will do nothing and I'll get more income. Either way is a win-win. Do we want to start saving for a bomber now? No, not yet, but I am going to get one more transport copter just in case things hit the fan. How much money am I making per turn? 14,000, so I need to have, what, the 22,000 in this game? Yeah, 22,000, which means I need to have, what, 8,000 left, so I can get an APC if I want to. I don't really want to. So instead I'm going to get one more infantry for distraction, and I'm actually going to get a mech, so I can put that in the T-copter. And then we're going to end our turn. Alright. So we can take out this APC, which I do want to do. Usually I'd leave them alone, but I do want to take the APCs out on this map when we run into them, because I don't want anything refueling. Unfortunately, though, we're at a we're at a checkmate here. So we can't really do anything with Sammy. We just have to sit in place. And then again, let him do his 1,000 moves. And yeah, the APC's in recovery mode, so that bomber is going to accomplish nothing. I can even use this infantry to take out that APC just to make sure. And he's going to kill this unit, don't get me wrong, but it will waste his time. So we're definitely going to do that. This guy can, I guess, slowly traipse over towards that port for more income. And we're going to send this guy off to the races. Interestingly, the battleships did not take the bait. So that's still here. These subs. Oh, good job they don't use that much fuel when they're not submerged, because otherwise they would just sink in this map, accomplishing nothing. Now, where do we want to attack so we make sure we don't kill ourselves? It is worth showing, though. I know this uses fuel. Sensei battlecopters do a lot of damage to cruisers. It's not going to kill them outright, but they pretty much make them worthless. I'm tempted to do it, actually. I'm going to, so that I don't end up having them come to a defense later, and then we'll just join these guys together afterwards. But now we definitely want to start taking pot shots at the... Yeah, we'll go for the battleships first. Can either of you guys reach that? Nope. Didn't think so, but you never know. I always found it weird that Sensei gets a movement bonus to his T-copters, but not his battlecopters, but I'm wondering if that's purely down to balance. Because he would be hilariously broken with his battlecopters if they had +1 movement. I'm also actually going to leave this intentionally here. I want units to come out here so I can shoot, shoot at them, get them cleared out of the way. Because a lot of the units up top, other than the anti-airs, which will be a bit annoying, most of these really aren't that difficult to take out. There's just, I want as few of them as possible so that, when we do our big push, it's quicker. Let's get our first bomber out. And yep, end turn. As tempting as it is to move our battleships in here now, because it's only got 6 hit points, I still don't really want to do that. Although, having said that, there's really no point not, because they're just sitting around doing nothing at this point. So I'm going to do that just to get my CO power. Maybe I'll be able to use it again and get the 10% bonus, just so we can say that we did something as Sammy. Gotta do something. There's the superpower. Okay, so there's quite a lot of units. A rout of this would be really slow. Yep, there, they took their shot. And yeah, that infantry's gone. And he couldn't resist going for my delicious transport copter. The AI can never resist. But his anti-air didn't come down and try and take it out. So we didn't get to change this AI that much. Anyway, that's now captured. We might as well. Beyond that, let's use our incredibly damaged battlecopter to do that. It's actually running out of ammo, which I mentioned was going to be a potential problem. That's why we have a couple of these to join together, just so we don't run out. I do want to be careful here, though, because of this guy. So I don't just want to go out and wail on everything, because it's actually in a very defensible location. That's the other reason why we brought this battleship forwards. Do that. We don't care about this sub. The sub we're not going to touch. Unless we need it for CO power building or anything like that, for like the meter. We're not going to be touching it. Do we need to get the mech over to here, or is the infantry going to be able to do that? I'm just going to do that. And then that way I can put the mech down temporarily, just to try and capture some more, you know, income, effectively. Have this guy wander forwards to distract the bomber, make him use some more fuel. Bring this over here, maybe... He might attack us, and I don't really care. But, like I said, eventually this bomber's going to run out of fuel and crash. It's only got 2 hits left in it anyway. So, do we really want to sack a battlecopter? No, we're not going to. We are going to do that, though. This is the one turn where attacking that sub would potentially make some sense. We're still not going to do it. But it's the one turn where it would make some sense, because he wouldn't get CO power off it, because he's on his power. But we're just not going to. And what we're going to do instead is bring this over here. Oh, it's not a one-shot. Okay, then what we're going to do is make sure, first of all, we don't get ourselves killed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to plonk this over here. Not attack. And this will hopefully drag the cruiser out of being protected by the missile. Hopefully. Might not happen, but that's the ambition anyway. We have 16,000. I guess we'll get a battlecopter, and then we're not going to build anything else for now. We also do have our superpower for Sensei, but I don't want to fire it yet. There's no need to. Do that. This guy can get a pot shot back. And then next turn we'll join these together. We're not going to join them together yet. We don't need to. But I am going to do this, so he has 2 targets potentially to aim at. I really don't care which one he goes for. But it gives him a couple of options, so he's more likely to just sit in place and fire. Yep, he's just exactly what he did. And in true fashion, he's just going to keep nibbling away at that infantry, which we really don't care about. Not interested. Alright, 9 turns left, so we do have to start throwing our units at this soon. But we're pretty much ready to go on that front. We're pretty close. So this mission can be pretty hard. It's tight for timing. The cruiser did move, but not in the direction I thought it was going to. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to check my income. 15,000 now. What's his CO power? He's at 0. Makes sense. He didn't attack me, really. How do we want to do this? I think we want to do that for sure. Start capturing this. And then we're going to plow these in at the last moment to try and capture. I might even do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Move that there so this infantry can be the unit I take, I guess. Don't sit on the airport, please. I really don't want to put my bomber yet into harm's way, so we're not going to. I wouldn't mind baiting this guy out with a weakened battlecopter, but it's not really a great play. He has a movement of 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can definitely take this out without any difficulties. But he's got defensive bonus now, so even if he went over here, that's a problem. And we want to save our superpower for when we do our final attack on this, because we need to smash every unit in one hit other than the anti-airs, which is what the bomber's for. Ideally, we'd have a second bomber, but we're a bit slow, and we're agonizingly short. We could join these two together now and actually accomplish getting that. Which I think actually is a good idea. So we're going to combine these together. That gets us to 23-7. We have 9 turns left, so we can afford to get a bomber out there. Wait 2 turns, then plow in and try and take this out. Really, the only question at this point is it worth sacrificing a battlecopter to kill this battleship? I'm not convinced right now that it is, but we're definitely going to move that up here so it's ready to go. He can't touch that with any unit that's even remotely close to being in range, so that's fine. We'll move this here, get the battlecopter out of the way so it physically can't get hit, actually. I was thinking about putting it down here, but this battleship's going to stop that from happening. At least right now. We'll just get him tidy out of the way so he can't get hit. Do that. I'd love to see if... Because, yeah, if he gets +1 movement right now, actually, that hits me. But he's not going to. So we'll see what he does next turn. I have to pull the trigger, though, soon, otherwise we're going to lose the mission due to being slow and indecisive. These guys can't do anything at this point. So I'm legitimately just going to sit here, join them. He's going to shoot at me, but then I can shoot back. At least do some chip damage to help, with dealing with the battleship when it comes. There we go. Yeah, he took half my health off. It doesn't matter. That was a really unlucky roll for me, I guess. So we're not going to be capturing that port. That's for sure, not with 1 hit point. We're not even going to try. There's no point. It's a waste of time. But that bomber now can't hit anybody. It's got no ammo. And virtually no fuel. So I'm just going to sit that there and never use that unit ever again. That's captured. I could even use this one over here to try and capture this airport in time. Okay, do we push next turn? We're not going to push this turn. The bomber did move, which is interesting. But it's really trying to bait in... The cruiser moved to try and bait in my bomber, is in essence what it's trying to do here. So in terms of this, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could hit this if I'm able to wipe out this anti-air. And that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The problem here, though, is that the battlecopters only have 6 movement. It's probably still worth doing, though. We are going to lose a battlecopter or 2. But I'm actually going to pull the trigger now. Possibly waiting another turn was advantageous, but I don't want to run the risk of running out of turns. And really, the whole purpose of this is to join these guys together to make some more money. So there's more money there. There is a 9 hit point mech. He's actually going to stay in place because he's going to be our backup unit if we get our infantry killed. So we do have that. Now, the battlecopter should be able to do so much damage that it should be able to one-shot this cruiser. Are you kidding? 1 hit point? Seriously? It's fine. It's really not that big a deal. What's going to suck is that our 1 bomber in range is going to get maimed no matter how I do this. It can't one-shot an anti-air, but it comes close enough now that I can at least wander in, take that out. Yes, the anti-air is going to probably kill the battlecopter, might attack the bomber. And this missile obviously is going to kill this battlecopter. But we have enough units spare where that's really not the biggest of deals. The other thing we want to do is definitely hit this guy. We actually might be able to kill him. Yep, we can. And I want to do this as well. Yeah, the recon's not hugely scary, but it now means I can pop this down. I want to make sure I don't end up killing myself by accident. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I want to not go at the tile next to it. This is safe. And then, like I said, this next turn is going to hurt. There's really no getting around that. It's just going to be pain. Might as well just build a bomber, just in case we end up having to do any cleanup. Okay. You have nothing to do. Like, legitimately nothing to do, so end turn. This is going to hurt. He's going to use his superpower. He's going to have bonus defense for next turn, which sucks. But we have to attack him. Really, the only thing that's going to be unfortunate is his anti-air still going to be around and kicking. Every other unit is manageable, but that one's going to be a problem. But he did the dumb thing I was hoping he would do. He did not attack my bomber with his anti-air. He did put it on a city, which is a little bit unfortunate, because I bet I don't do very much damage to it. Yeah, 57. But what I can do is I can put the bomber here, attack it, block him, and then this anti-air is not going to be relevant. So that actually turns out to be okay. We are going to pop down this, just because we have time to do so. Alright, so no, that's actually not too bad. Because of his defense bonus from his superpower, none of these things that would normally be a one-shot are going to be a one-shot, but what can you do? We are definitely going to attack that. It hurts, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely the best play. And now what we have to do is use one battlecopter to take out the cruiser, and use the two other battlecopters to take out the missiles. And now his only air defense is that one unit, and that is it. We still have to be a little bit careful. We don't want to just get our transport copter killed. It's low on fuel too. But no, this should be good now. We should be smooth sailing. I don't even think I'll need this bomber, but you never know. We'll just send it up there just in case. We're definitely not making any of these mechs. I'm not going to move them. We don't need to. And end turn. End turn again. I wish you could just have it auto end Sammy's turn at this point. That bomber died from lack of fuel. That hurt, but we don't care. There we go. His turns are a lot quicker now, and we can just use the other bomber that we built just to take that out. So that's fine. Okay. Might as well do that. Did he build another battleship? That's annoying. Kind of funny, but annoying. So I guess we'll have to take that out too. What do we want to take out first, though? Well, I'm going to attack this first, because I might kill it, and I do. And then we want to wail away at this battlecopter. I actually don't want... I said battlecopter again, didn't I? Battleship! They're eating up my ammo, which is the most annoying part of this. Can't use machine guns on them, I'm afraid. But yeah, this is now just clean-up duty. I think we're good. All I'm going to do at this point is just... I don't know, build a few units, just to say that we have a load of units. Alright, end turn. Will he use his little power? I'm kind of hoping the answer's no, but he did. It's fine. I only care because I'm giving him defense bonus again, which, not super ideal. But yeah, look how, like, he has no action on his turn now. Think how quick, his turns go by now compared to how they used to. Attack that. Can this 2-hit point bomber take out that rocket? That's nice of him. But beyond that, we just want to make sure that battleship's now gone. How much money does he have? Nothing. So I don't have to block it. That's why I was checking. And then we're just going to plop that down. Take that out just so it's out of the way. And honestly, I might just take some boredom pot shots at those subs. I like how all of my units are running out now. This is why it is tempting to build an APC, but you really don't need one. There's just not a... No, you have the perfect amount of time where you can get away without having one. And yeah, the only unit he's moving is his lander. So we might as well take that out. I don't think I'm going to need my battlecopters over here. Nope, I don't. Just going to take one over there. And again, we'll just end turn. Yeah, this mission can get pretty difficult. If you're a turtler, this is a really difficult map because it's a fine line. You want to build up your forces a little bit so you can sweep them all at once. But you don't want to do it excessively because if you do, you just plain run out of time. It's, not that generous. And we do now have access to Neotanks in the next mission. And we will apparently meet again. And we will. I don't know if we'll be using Sammy again at any point. Probably not. But we'll see. Oh, perfect 300 score too. That was a pleasant surprise. Anyway, that went really well. I honestly thought we could have failed it. We didn't. Hooray for past memory, I guess. I guess the memory is always past. Great way to end a video. Anyway, if you liked it, feel free to give it a like, subscribe if you want to see more of this, and hopefully have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care now. Thank you for watching the video.